Two amazing things I want to mention right in the beginning of this video. One, you may notice, boom, no hinged elbow brace. I almost feel kind of naked not wearing it. I'm about 2 months post-op for my distal bicep tendon tear, and it feels kind of crazy. I'm now getting movement, and I'm now able to move a lot more efficiently and better. So awesome. The second thing I want to say is that when I just met with my doctor as a follow-up to see, like, all right, how am I healing? He said I'm in the top 10% of people when it comes to this injury, meaning the way I'm healing and everything is excellent. And I do think one big part of that is supplements.
Oh, hi, Mark.
What's up, Freccero fam? Welcome back to my channel. We'd like to experience everything that life has to offer. Let's get right into this. I want to talk about all these supplements I've been taking to heal from a distal bicep tendon tear. And there's a lot to this video. I'm going to kind of structure it in a few different parts in terms of the ones that I think are the most important, the ones that I think are not as important, but still very helpful, and a few other pro tips I'm going to give you on this video. Two things I do want to say. One is that even though I'm talking right now specifically about a distal bicep tendon tear, all these supplements are really good for recovery in general. If you tore something, if you pulled something, if you're super sore, all these supplements really help. And of course, just for longevity and health in general. The second thing, which I say in every video, and I have to say it again, I am not a doctor. I never pretend to be one in any of my videos. Of course, always consult with a licensed professional before taking any supplements and make sure you run it by them beforehand. First off, getting to the primary supplements. These are the ones that I'm gonna say if you're watching this video, you're looking to recover as fast as possible, whether it's a tendon tear or something else. These are the ones I'm gonna say you gotta take. You absolutely have to take. And for this video, rather than go in depth on every single supplement, talking about the benefits, what it is, etc., I am gonna do this a bit quicker than normal. Sometimes I do a deep dive on a supplement and go really in depth. For a video like this, because there's a lot to go through, I kind of want to just give you like the spark notes of each one and then proceed forward. Kicking off, omega-3s, basically fish oil, EPA, and DHA. This is a big one when it comes to recovery, especially joints and tendons, and especially, this is really good for mental health. I'll say as a side note, when people ask me like, hey, what supplements should I take? The big three that I think everybody should be taking are omega-3s, magnesium, and vitamin D. Most people are deficient in all three, and omega-3s are a big staple, especially when it comes to recovery. In terms of these supplements I suggest either A, do not ages omega-3s. These are amazing high-quality omega-3 supplements, or B, like say if you can't swallow pills, Nordic Naturals liquid, their omega-3s liquid is also excellent. I want to say as a side note as well, all these supplements I'm mentioning are listed below in the description, as I'm going to be mentioning a lot of them. Next up, and I'm going to group these three together, is glucosamine, chondroitin, and MSM. Each one of these in different ways is unbelievable for joints, especially glucosamine is like the staple for joint supplements, tendons, that kind of stuff. It's used both for humans, but also for pets like dogs. There are tons of glucosamine supplements for dogs. But in general, most supplements, because these three are kind of like the three powerhouses, the trifecta, the triforce of joint health and a lot more, these are usually grouped together. So usually when you buy a supplement, it usually contains all three. So my best suggestions are either Doctor's Best, glucosamine, chondroitin, and MSM, or Joint Vibrance. Now, Joint Vibrance, I want to say, is a phenomenal supplement. I have no affiliation, by the way, with these supplements. Might as well say that. It's a phenomenal supplement. Look at it as like a mixed cocktail with tons of different ingredients for joints. Not just glucosamine, chondroitin, and MSM, but a lot more. Joint Vibrance was a big staple of my recovery that I took. One thing I want to say about it, or two things I'll say. One, it's pretty pricey. I hate when supplements do this, but it's $50 for a 21-day supply. I don't know why supplements do that. I'm like, give me like a 30-day supply. I hate it when it's like 21 days, which is kind of like an off, like 3 weeks time. I don't know. I think about my supplements in like month to month. But anyway, $50 for 21 days. Second thing, it tastes pretty horrible. It tastes horrible. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. But I gotta be honest, when it comes to joints and recovery, whether you're sore, whether it's a tendon tear or whatever, Joint Vibrance, in my opinion, really is the GOAT. And that's a big supplement that I highly suggest to take if you're looking for recovery. Next, number 5, hyaluronic acid. This is another powerful supplement when it comes to joints recovery. It's also used a lot when it comes to anti-aging and also the visualness. Like hyaluronic acid is used actually a lot for like skin health, face. It's used in a lot of creams. There's a lot of versatility to this supplement, and this one is an absolute powerhouse as well when it comes to recovery. For me, I personally take Do Not Age's hyaluronic acid, as this one has a high molecular weight, basically meaning, in common speak, it's a lot better than a lot of hyaluronic acid supplements out there. Number 6, vitamin C, aka ascorbic acid. Now, when it comes to vitamin C, a lot of people think immunity, right? You think, oh man, I'm gonna have some, what is that big stuff everyone has? Airborne or emergency. If you're sick, you're not feeling well, you take vitamin C. What a lot of people don't know though, is vitamin C is very helpful when it comes to collagen production. So vitamin C is a big supplement when it comes to assisting your body in terms of making collagen and recovery. And especially, as you can imagine, for a tendon tear, for any kind of injury or whatever, recovery is the biggest thing. And of course, vitamin C is a huge assistance when it comes to helping you recover faster. And when it comes to a vitamin C supplement, my favorite one is vitamin C from Thorne. And last, but definitely not least, number 7, bromelain. This one, I'm gonna be honest, is magic. This supplement is amazing just for recovery in numerous different ways, from numerous different injuries, whether it's a tendon tear, if you're super sore from, let's say, working out at the gym, if let's say you have a cut or anything, this one's amazing. There's a myth, or kind of a, I'm not even gonna call it a myth, like a old wives' tale, that let's say if you're getting your wisdom teeth out, to chug that huge thing of pineapple juice, like a huge thing of pineapple juice before getting your wisdom teeth out. And the truth is, there's actually a lot of reasoning behind this. The main reason why is pineapple juice or pineapples are very high in bromelain, and it does help you recover faster. This is why a lot of people say, after let's say a big dental surgery, whatever, have some pineapple juice. Drink as much pineapple juice as you can. As opposed to that, just take the supplement. My favorite supplement when it comes to bromelain is the Doctor's Best bromelain. Now let's get into these secondary supplements. Like I said in the beginning of this video, these are ones that are not mind-blowingly important, but still can be very helpful. And I'm gonna be honest, if you're looking to recover as fast as possible, I highly suggest having pretty much all of these. So let's get into it. First off, and this is a big one, HMB powder. HMB is an incredible supplement that reduces the amount of muscle mass you lose. And I'm gonna be honest, for me, for example, it might be, I think, 4 months from the time I tore my bicep, actually 5 months, because it took a couple weeks to get surgery. It's probably gonna be about 5 months, almost half a year actually, until the point that I can start lifting again. And my biggest worry was, man, I'm gonna lose a ton of muscle mass, I'm gonna lose a ton of strength and a lot more. What HMB powder does is it helps preserve that muscle mass as much as possible. I take 3 grams every day, and this is really useful. If let's say you're not even just, injured, but let's say for whatever reason you can't work out and you want to preserve your muscle as much as possible, take HMB. It's even been given a lot to elderly people because, as you can imagine, the older you get, the harder it is to kind of retain that muscle mass. And this is what HMB is unbelievably useful for. My supplement that I take is the NutriCost HMB. Number 2, turmeric. Turmeric is kind of like a staple when it comes to recovery. It's used in a lot of instances, and it's incredibly good for you. The main supplement I take is the New Age turmeric. Number 3, urolithin A. This supplement, I gotta be honest, one of my favorite supplements I've ever taken. This one helps really improve mitochondrial function and health and everything. And this supplement is a mind-blowing supplement, at least the way it affects me. Remember, every supplement does affect everybody differently, but this one for me, as a side note, I want to say, I've noticed that I can work harder, faster, better, longer. I notice that my mental acuity is better. I can make better music, make it faster. I can work out harder. I feel happier throughout the day. Physically, I feel better. This supplement is just amazing the way it affects me, and it has been shown to also help healing. Of course, in this case, being more specific, it can help heal a tendon tear. And the main supplement I take is Pro Health's urolithin A. Number 4, protein. Just straightforward, protein. And I want to say as a side note, I think a lot of times when people hear protein, they think of like a bodybuilder, or a lot of people are afraid if they have like a scoop of whey protein, they're gonna just blow up, especially like a lot of girls. Not the case. Protein is insanely important when it comes to recovery. And if anything, I'd say you want to have the same amount of protein you were taking beforehand, maybe even a little bit more. So I suggest both Optimum Nutrition's whey protein, or if you have a Costco membership, the Costco Kirkland protein is probably my favorite whey protein. And then secondly, I also suggest casein protein. Casein protein takes a little bit to absorb and whatnot, so it's typically taken in the morning or at night. So for me, I take casein protein at night, so that way when I'm even sleeping, my body's repairing itself a lot more efficiently. And my favorite casein protein supplement is Nutricos Casein Protein. And last, but definitely not least, number 5, Huel. If you're a dedicated subscriber, you are probably predicting this. Huel, in case you don't know, is powdered food, and I love this for numerous different reasons. One, it's really good when it comes to the macro and micronutrients. As you can imagine, when it comes to recovery, you need a ton of nutrients to assist your body when it comes to recovery. And Huel, not only does it have 40 grams of protein, so in of itself, it's kind of like a high quality, high protein shake, but also it has tons of other nutrients in it that makes it a full, complete meal. The second thing I really like about Huel, especially in this instance, is when it comes to my distal bicep tendon tear, I pretty much couldn't really use my left arm until now. For like a couple months, I was very, very limited. Even me like picking up a plate or like this pad right here, even picking up a piece of paper like that was dangerous. I had to be very, very careful to let my arm heal. So as you can imagine, when it comes to that, one issue that you might not think about, if like you are in my position, is cooking. Cooking is a very much so two-handed task, and there are a lot of things I could not do when it comes to cooking and making my typical meals. And when it comes to Huel, all you do is to take 2 scoops, put it in water, shake it up, and boom, you have a high-quality 400-calorie, 40-gram protein shake right there that's pretty much a complete meal. Next up, which is an interesting category, I want to talk about sober alternatives. Right now I'm sober, and I did want to mention kind of the non-alcoholic drinks I'm having that I think just make it better, because as you can imagine, when it comes to recovery, alcohol is the worst thing for it. So you want to avoid alcohol at all costs, maybe go sober for 2 or 3 months, however long it's going to take for your recovery. So I do want to mention kind of the sober alternatives I'm having. One, Free Spirits. They make non-alcoholic liquor. Sounds crazy, but it's actually really good. They also make non-alcoholic canned mixed drinks. Again, no alcohol. And my favorite one is their non-alcoholic margarita. This one's actually insane. If you pour it in a glass, put some ice, some lime, maybe do like one of those salt rims, I'm not joking that if someone handed it to me and said, hey dude, try this margarita, it's like really good, it's like a skinny margarita, I would not know that there's no alcohol in it. That's how good they are. They also sell actual non-alcoholic liquor, like a bourbon, a gin, a tequila, etc. And this has actually been a big staple for me being sober, because I'm like, hey, sometimes I do like doing shots, but I don't want to be drinking. I do a shot of this. Hey, I really want like a margarita. Like let's say it's a Taco Tuesday and I want a margarita. I just have the Free Spirits margarita. Number 2, non-alcoholic beers. This has been another staple of mine. I actually did a video on this channel of my 10 favorite non-alcoholic beers, but the big ones I've been drinking lately are beers like Stella Artois. Their non-alcoholic one's insane. The Peroni non-alcoholic is insane. The Guinness Zero is also really good. I'd say non-alcoholic beers, I mean, the most typical one, by the way, I might as well say, is the Heineken OO. That's kind of the staple of non-alcoholic beers right now. Non-alcoholic beers, surprisingly, especially in this day and age, taste almost like the exact same thing. If anything, take Peroni, for example. I actually prefer the Peroni non-alcoholic beer to the Peroni alcoholic beer. Number 3, Bubblies. These are basically sparkling waters, or I'm going to say is like another LaCroix. I'm not going to lie, I've never liked LaCroix. They just don't do it for me. But Bubblies are awesome. My favorite one is the strawberry one. What's good about these are basically like a sparkling canned water. You probably have them before that are flavored. No calories, no sugar, nothing. Like literally zero across the board. And these are kind of great. If, let's say it's been a long day, I want to sip something, but I don't want to have maybe any extra calories. Sometimes even non-alcoholic beer can like even sometimes bloat me or even make me too full. So I'm like, I'm not in the mood for like a non-alcoholic beer. Maybe I don't want like a non-alcoholic margarita. Boom, I just grab a bubbly. And these have been amazing to have something when being sober. And one last category I do want to bring up as like kind of a bonus category is activities. You have to be very careful when it comes to a distal bicep tendon tear, or I guess any injury in general, where I think you have to have this balance of not moving because you need to recover. But also, if you just sit and do nothing for 2 months straight, that's also not good. I do believe in getting some type of blood flow. So the first thing I've been doing a lot is walks. Right now, at least I have more movement now, so I might even do like a bodyweight squat workout or something. But going for walks, I think is unbelievably underrated. I genuinely believe walking is the most underrated exercise, period. Because when people say, hey man, I walk every morning or I walk every day, I think sometimes people look at it as like, oh, well, dude, you're only walking. Like, you're only walking. But one of my favorite fitness quotes, if anything, my favorite fitness quote is no matter how slow you go, you're still lapping everybody sitting on the couch. something is better than nothing. Of course, make sure you ask your doctor for all of this, right? But if you're able to just walk, that is huge. One thing I do have to say as a side note though, and I didn't mention this in some previous videos, make sure you check, depending on the type of cast you have, if you do have one, if you can sweat. For me, I naturally sweat a lot. It's incredibly annoying. And especially in LA with the heat in the summer, I actually couldn't go for walks because if I start to sweat, it could actually cause an issue when it comes to, let's say, an infection, it got wet, et cetera, et cetera. Now, of course, I'm okay, but that is something you do want to keep in mind. The second big activity that I did a lot, and it was honestly the only thing I could think of that I could do, and I did a lot of research, cryotherapy. I did an entire video about cryotherapy and my experience doing it. Basically, the idea is you walk into this chamber and it's negative 135 degrees Fahrenheit, so super cold, and you're in there for 3 minutes. It's just dry air, which is huge because I remember thinking like, shoot, I want my arm to heal. I want to reduce the inflammation. Like, yes, I was taking ibuprofen. Yes, I did ice it, but I also had to be careful because if I iced it and started to melt and it got wet, that could be dangerous. And it was kind of tough to find something that was active, but also reduce inflammation. And cryotherapy is the perfect thing for that. I did it, I'd say, about 3 times a week. And it was really nice to do cryotherapy because I also kind of feel like it got me out of the house. Like, I got out of the house, I drove to cryo, had some social interaction, did something that I consider would be physical. Because as you can imagine, I can't do an ice bath, I can't do a cold shower. I'm very limited of what I can do. I couldn't even go for walks in the beginning. And cryotherapy was literally the perfect thing for that.